Kia ora. Kei te pēhea koe. I kind of want to experiment with some more like ambient, real world style ASMR. I've just come back from a shopping trip and I thought maybe we could like unpack the bags together and go through what I've bought and then maybe just do a few other little chores that I have to do, and that you could join me for that. There we go. Maybe you could just have this on in the background, bit of body doubling, stuff like that. Maybe you just need a voice to keep you company while you work from home, so while you focus on whatever you're doing. I've just found a little bit of schmutz on here. Don't know that I'm going to be able to get that off. That's fine. I can paint over it. That's fine. Yes. So while you're doing whatever you are doing, I can be going through all the things I bought. I've also just realized that my belt is undone. It's fine. You can't see my belt. It's fine. Although you will when I tip the camera down. So let me just... on the ASMR subreddit, a couple days ago, I was asking about people's opinions around more like natural, real world, ambient ASMR versus the very like crisp studio production, soundproofed room, professional microphone setup styles. And I feel like they meet different needs. So I kind of wanted to experiment with that today. That's the aim of this video, is to kind of play with that and see what we get. So I have the window, not behind you, but to your to your left. The window is open, so you'll be getting noise from the street, as well as the window in the bedroom is also open. So you might be getting noise from there too. I do live near a hospital, so if there are any sirens, I'll try to cut around them. So if there's any like jump cuts, that's what that was. Right, I'm gonna tilt you down now, and the stand that I have you on is one of those like bendy adjustable ones, which like as soon as I touch the phone, you wobble. So as I tilt you down, just be aware that there might be a bit of wobbling as we down you come. Okay, so hi. Turns out this is as far down as I could tilt the camera. That's fine. So, first thing I have is this little bathroom storage box, which has a little wooden heart. Well, of course it's wooden, the whole thing is wooden. Peekaboo. I just needed something to store my toilet paper in, and you know, like the cleaning products and that sort of thing, because they're taking up all of the space in my bathroom drawer, leaving no space for anything else. I do try to keep it tidy in there. We have a pair of sandals, because it's getting very warm and I don't regulate my temperature very well, so wearing shoes and socks on a day when it's hot is not ideal. Oh, there's some Velcro as well. Let's see if we get there. I'm very torn between giving you intentional triggers and just kind of talking at you while I do stuff. So I might kind of do a mix, and then you can tell me in the comments below which you prefer. now this is meant to be an over-the-door tea towel holder, but I'm actually going to use it for belts and scarves because currently, there goes the tube, currently all of my belts and scarves are hanging like from each other on the back of my wardrobe door, and they're all tangled, and they're kind of like, to get one off I have to like untie 3 of them, and there's no organization or anything, they're all just kind of hanging off each other, off one hook. So my plan is to put this on my wardrobe door and be able to hang like belts from one and then scarves from the other, you know? And hopefully that will just make things a bit tidier and easier to get one at a time as and when I need it. What else have I got here? Oh, that didn't make much noise. Okay. That one might be a bit loud. This is not a great angle for my back to be like sitting and holding things up. That's okay, right. So this is this one next. I cleared my wardrobe out because I have a lot of stuff that I bought while I was in forest school and nannying, and I've put on a little bit of weight since then, but also it doesn't really suit my current lifestyle, and I was just kind of hanging on to it because I was like, they're perfectly good clothes, I don't want to get rid of them, summer's coming up, and I realized there's no point hanging on to these trousers that are like, oh, it's just half a size too small. Yeah, unless I am currently focusing on going back down a dress size, which I'm really not, there's no point in hanging on to these. And I kind of want to play around more with like the dark academia vibes, because I feel like that lends itself well to lots of different atmospheres. Like, you can have a very dressy dark academia, or you can have a very chilled out, casual, lazy dark academia. Like my outfit today, it would look better if it were with a collared shirt, I'm sure, but this was kind of spring meets light academia, I guess, or dark academia meets like, I'm just going to the shops, I just need clothes. So I got rid of a bunch of things that I've not worn in a long time, some things that don't fit, some things that I bought for a person I'm never going to become, or some things that I wore once and I keep saying, oh, I'll wear it again, but then I look at it and I'm like, I didn't really like the way I looked in it, so I got rid of those and donated them. I have an eyelash just prodding me, it's frustrating. Yes, I got rid of those. So I've just picked up a few things just to kind of experiment with. And the first of those is this, oh gosh, there's 3 bundled together. This short sleeved woolen top that I think will be good for spring and summer, because like, you can just chuck on a singlet underneath because it is a bit see-through. You can just chuck a singlet on underneath that, and that's going to be nice and light and comfortable, but still looks like office appropriate. It still looks like you've put effort in. I'm always fascinated by the different smells from charity shop clothes. By the way, everything I got today, clothing wise, is from a charity shop. Like, I know some charity shops use different charity shops use different stuff to wash or clean their clothes before putting them on display. It's always fascinating to me, the different ways that clothes smell when coming from different charity shops. Yes. Also, I don't use a very perfumed, what's the word I'm after? I don't use a very perfumed detergent in my machine, because I don't like having lots of perfumey smells. So, like, any detergent smell that's not mine is automatically like, what's that smell? Like, I notice it a lot more. But I quite like this. Yeah, it's short sleeved, so it'll be nice for summer, but it's dressy. Yes, I feel like I've said everything that needs to be said about that. I like that it's got, you know, the little holes. It's not lots of big gapy ones. I find that you get that a lot with the more summery woolen items, is that the holes they have are absolutely massive. You're like, what is the point of me even wearing this? It's not doing anything. Like, this is also another one where it's, the holes are small. You know, you can still see through if the light goes through. But it's not, this is kind of borderline. There's a lot of holes, but they're not too big, so it's not too bad. Yeah, right, number one. This one, I actually originally picked up for this texture because I want to make an earring holder that looks nice, but isn't like a statement. And I saw some ideas on Pinterest that involve using an embroidery hoop and lace, and then you can just pin your earrings into that. And so I saw this, and I thought this could be quite nice. It's, you know, it's pretty, but it's not so much of a statement that it's going to stand out, and I'll be able to see the earrings well against it. But then I noticed that it comes with like a little singlet top inside it. And again, just nice, light, summery vibes. This one smells different again. It could be that this one's been washed more recently and that the smell is stronger as a result. That could be what that is. So I don't know, I might wear this once and hate it, who knows. But even if I do, I can quite easily remove the little singlet, and then I've got just like another nice light singlet, you know, to chuck on underneath something like this. I've never owned a lot of like cream and camel coloured clothing before. Cream and camel coloured clothing, cream and camel coloured clothing, cream and camel coloured clothing. Because when you are working with children, there is no point in having clothes that stain easily, because they're just going to get destroyed. So I would always buy clothes that were either stain resistant or that I didn't mind getting ruined. So I never had anything nice in these sorts of colours. This is from Zara, and this one from Warehouse. I do like the little gold flecks. You can see the little gold threads throughout. It's really nice. Look at that. Lovely. And then the last thing I got from that shop was to replace, if I don't decide to use the lace from this, I will use the lace from this. Now this one I might have to do some sewing to like stitch two sides together, because I don't think on this one there is any one piece that is big enough to cover the circle of my embroidery hoop. So I might have to stitch some pieces together. And then this part I can easily use as, not yarn, but you can like cut up old t-shirts to make into basically yarn, which is what I'm doing with a bunch of my old volunteering shirts later today. Someone's got some loud music. I'm gonna take a break for just a moment. Okay, hi, welcome back. We're facing this way now. I waited for a little while because someone now has a weed whacker out, but I feel like if I wait for them to finish, that's gonna be all damn day. So, guess what? Now you get to see my knees. This is all in the name of ambient TikTok. Ambient TikTok? No. Can you tell I was on TikTok while waiting for them to stop? This is all in the name of ambient ASMR. Okay. So, we were talking about this a moment ago. I'm gonna need to like, where are you? There you are, hello. Unpick the lace from the main shirt. We can do that later. For now, let's pop it off to the side. Smell check. This one also doesn't smell very strongly. This one smells the least, but it also smells of something different. Wait, no, this one smelled the least. Okay, this one smells the least. This one smells the best, and they all smell slightly different. Now you know. Okay. Oh. Back to Wilco. I got some other hooks. I want to try a couple different types. So this one is an over-the-door towel holder, which I believe you put on like that, and then you hang your towel on this bit. I'm gonna use it for jackets because I wanted to get one of the long ones that has several hooks, but I could not find any of those. If I sit like this I can't see the top of the camera, but it's fine. And then these hooks I'm also going to try out, so I have a little bit more control over different heights of hanging the jackets. I had some hooks on the back of the door before, and those ones were really good. They were totally fine for months, and then all of a sudden they just popped off. And I don't know if it's that I put too much weight on them. I think that's what happened. Especially when the first one popped off, I took all the jackets that had been on that first one and put them on the second one. And again, that one was fine for a month until it suddenly fell off. Okay, those over there. Next, I got some new denim trousers. I'm also just going to check for the tags on this one because I think I'm just checking because I think the tags on these trousers mention, okay, no, they name the shop but they don't name which branch it is, so that's fine. I'm not trying to dox myself here. Okay, so yes, I needed some new jeans because while I was at Talkfest, I realised on the Saturday morning that I had a hole right here, right about there, and I was going to be hosting several panels, and I tend to sit legs spread because that's the most comfortable way for me, especially if I'm leaning backwards and forwards to like look around at other panelists. I find that more comfortable on the couches they have at Talkfest and Tsitsi, which I couldn't do with a big old hole in my trousers. But I have literally not had a chance since Talkfest, since before Talkfest even. I knew they were getting a little bit thin. Sorry, I realise I'm talking quite fast for an ASMR video. I don't know which is preferable. I've noticed recently a lot of ASMR artists are doing fast ASMR and like fast intense triggers, and I talk quite fast naturally anyway. So let me know in the comments, I guess, which you prefer. Yes, so I noticed that here on the inseam, the trousers, the jeans were getting quite thin, and that I would need to replace them. But I didn't have a chance to do that. And then I got to Talkfest and I was like, it's okay, I just got to get through this weekend. And then I've got Monday off and I can go trouser shopping on Monday. Except that the trousers did not make it to Monday, and little did I know I would actually, in fact, not have a chance to go shopping between then and now. So I bought myself a pair of jeans that are a relaxed slim fit. None of the charity shops near me have any like changing rooms at all, so I couldn't try them on. I'm just kind of hoping that they fit. Oh look, clearly they've been cuffed. I cuff all my jeans, partly because I am a bisexual and partly because I have a long torso and short legs, so jeans that fit me in the waist and in the hips are often miles too long. Right, those over there. I bought new shorts because again, all of the ones that I bought last year are now too small for me, but these are a tie waist pair. These came from the men's section. They also have decent pockets because they were from the men's section. Yeah, these are just a nice like denim look, but a nice soft cotton feel. I feel like they'll be really nice in the summertime when I just need a bit of breathing room, you know? Lovely. Oh, I can see a bit of dust coming off them. Oh, smell check. I think all of the ones that come from this particular, I've just noticed there's a little thready boy there. All of the ones that come from this charity shop usually smell the same. What's the brand? Oh, Top Man. Okay. One of the things about getting most of my clothes from a charity shop is that I don't have like my brands. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I shop a lot at this place and that place. I get a lot of my clothes from here. I'm like, I get my clothes from wherever the person before me got them. Like these are from Next. Just gonna have to make my peace with it. You're gonna, oh no, I can tuck this one into there. The tiny pocket. Again, I didn't actually try these on, and I'm not sure if they'll fit me, but they are a 32 waist, and that's usually right. Again, I just needed some nice, like, professional looking short trousers, good pockets, a nice zip fly button, oh, bum pockets, you love to see it. Yeah, what more needs to be said? Okay, what else have we got? Okay, that is the end of this one. Let me just pop that in there and seal it closed. I'm not sure if this bit, like this little foldy bit, is meant to cover that bit. I don't know. There we go. And then in my handbag, which has this strap, does not go with this bag. I don't remember what happened to the strap of this bag, but I don't have it anymore. So clearly it went somewhere. Oh, jingle jingle. These are from Uniqlo. I couldn't figure out where these were from because they were like pinched closed. And I was looking for a label. I couldn't find one anywhere. And for a moment I was like, are these handmade? Like, what's going on? Again, just a nice dressy pair of trousers that are low maintenance. I can wear these in the spring and summer because they're a nice light material. And then in the winter I can always wear them with like stockings underneath if I need to. Good pockets, a stretch waistband, a fake fly. But it's fine. They look nice. I don't have many grey trousers. And if I'm going to embrace this whole like dark academia thing, I do need just like lots of neutrals. Lots and lots of neutrals. I think the last time I did like a wardrobe style ASMR, I was doing lots of like foresty colours, like lots of greens, lots of green and brown, which, you know, kind of still the case, but I need neutrals that I can wear those with. I saw a green jumper in the last charity shop that I went to, but I figure like coming into spring and summer, it's not really the time to be buying more jumpers, I say as I literally pull a cardigan out of my bag. And I already had another jumper in the exact same colour green, but that one is a jumper with a fox on it that is like, it's a slouchy jumper that I think is slightly too big for me. Yes. Again, this is what I mean about like neutrals but foresty. I think this is Primark. Yeah, this is Primark. Oh, but it's Primark cares, you know. Primark cares, does it? I try not to buy clothes from Primark, but if it's a case of they came from Primark originally but I'm getting them from the charity shop, I don't mind that quite so much. I like the little buttons, they're just a nice little detail on the sleeve. This is a nice like long cardigan I can easily just pop on over top of something. It'll be warm in the afternoons when I need it, but I can be nice and cool in the middle of the day. Not in the afternoons, in the early evening rather. The kind of thing where like going to work, I just need a little something from my house to the tube and then from the tube to the office, because those walks are both just a little bit too long to not have some sort of like jumper on those cooler days. But then as soon as I get to the office, it's quite warm. This I was quite impressed with. This was 50p. And it's just a nice plain button down white singlet top that I can, you know, like chuck on under this with a pair of trousers. Boom. There we go. That's the kind of vibe we're going for. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, you know? that with like, you know? How's that? How's that? That's good. Or even, I don't know, how we feel about this? Yeah, like even that's not too bad. Okay, alright. How do we feel about the blues? Less so with the blue, but like still fine. I feel like maybe denim. Maybe with the jeans. How's that? Yeah. I don't like it as much as I liked it with the grey and with the, I don't know, what colour are we calling this? Like these I like it better. Or even, how do we feel about this? With the camely sort of colours, that's a lot more of that like dark academia or light academia sort of look. Yeah, yeah, okay. That feels nice. I like those. It's also a very like floaty but not insubstantial material, you know? That's the issue I have with a lot of like blouses and singlets, is that like you get that nice floaty material, but as a result you can see absolutely everything. This one isn't too bad. Not too bad. Definitely gonna have to be mindful of what undergarments I wear on the days I wear this. That's fine, that's okay. Right, put that to the side. Is that everything from this one? I think it is. I think that's everything. Now I'm gonna get the t-shirts that I sorted through earlier, and I will tell you about each of them before we then cut them up and make them into t-shirt yarn. So most of these, clear these out of the way, most of these are volunteer t-shirts from events that I've worked at, but these three here are t-shirts that I got for attending VidCon LA. Yes, I'm really torn about getting rid of this one, because this one was part of my first ever Butt Fartman cosplay. The lore of Butt Fartman is during the Project for Awesome, I want to say 2015, someone was zooming in on the $10 Australian note and happened to zoom in on where it said butt and then father, but it cut out at the T, and so it said butt fart. Butt fart, that's funny. So butt fart became a running joke. And then they were looking, so Project for Awesome is a fundraising event. They were looking for challenges to do when we reached certain fundraising goals. And I tweeted, clothing swap, pants on head, shirts on legs. And Hank Green, who's one of the hosts, goes, I don't know about shirts on head, but pants on legs. And then he realized he had two matching shirts, and so he put them on. And because they were matching, it looked like one solid piece. And people said he looked like some sort of baby alien. And we decided that the baby alien was called Butt Fartman. And then people in the stream were tweeting out pictures of themselves dressed up as Butt Fartman. Me and my partner at the time, who's now my friend, and we run a D&D podcast together, he had also gone to this VidCon with me. And so I put on my one and his one and dressed up as Butt Fartman. And then I wore this, okay, so it must have been the 2014 P-Fray, because this is the 2013 VidCon shirt. Or no, because the Project for Awesome happened in December. And this was in August, so it was the 2013 Project for Awesome. Wow, Butt Fartman is nearly 10 years old. That is crazy. That is bizarre. Wow. So I've hung on to this shirt a lot longer than I otherwise would, purely for that. However, I never wear it anymore, and it just sits in my drawer. That's the case with a lot of these. I never wear them, but they have that emotional attachment to them, and so I don't want to get rid of them. I don't want to donate them because, like, this one has a chocolate stain on it that I can never get out. This one is a disgusting green color. And, like, who is going to buy a t-shirt secondhand for an event that they didn't go to unless they need, like, a t-shirt for a costume that they're gonna, like, tear up or paint or something like that. And so I figured if anyone's gonna tear up these shirts, it might as well be me, and I can cut them up and make them into like yarn, and then I can make something with them, you know? Like, I could make a blanket out of all of my old t-shirts. So, this is the 4th annual VidCon 2013 shirt. Pop that one over there. I think, what's this one? This is the 6th. Okay, so this is the 5th annual. This one, weirdly, has faded faster than the others, which I don't know if I just wore this one more, or if the design was printed by a different company and just fades faster. Like, you can barely read that says, I mean, part of that's to do with the size of the font, but that does say 5th annual, but you can barely see it. Like, if you look at the colours on this, compared to the colours on this, like, this one has just faded so fast. Again, I never wear this shirt. This has become my, like, I need to put clothes on because I'm a human being, you know? Not like I want to wear this shirt because the design really suits the vibe for the outfit today. This has just been my lazy day at home, but I still need to put clothes on shirt. It's not even particularly soft or, like, flattering or anything. You can tell how long it's been since I've worn it because the fold is just, like, permanently imprinted on it. And then this is the last of my VidCon USA shirts. This is the 6th one, the last US VidCon that I went to. This one was when I left New Zealand and I came to London via VidCon. So me and my partner at the time, who is now my ex and my friend, he and I flew to LA, did a week in LA at VidCon, and then flew to London. I haven't been back to the States since then, for various reasons. So I just have this shirt as the memory of my last VidCon. I'm sad that I haven't been to more London VidCons, but hey, it happens, and there are other things to spend my money on, you know? You don't need to be at every single VidCon. Right. This one is from the European Games tournament that I was a volunteer at in Oslo in Norway. My favourite thing about this shirt is that they misspelt Sweden. I love it. I love it. It cracks me up. Yup. I don't, that's all I have to say. I don't know how it got a chocolate stain on it. I don't remember getting a chocolate stain on it. Apparently I did. And this is just another, like, until recently I didn't buy a lot of white clothes because they just get dirty. And I didn't want to ruin the shirt, so I never wore it. And so it's just sat in my drawer. But I didn't want to get rid of it. because it was a cool Quidditch shirt and it still had meaning attached to it. But I just never wear it, and there's no point keeping it in my drawers. It is a nice soft material though, I will give it that. It's a nice soft shirt. Like, what's it made from? What company is it? Joy? I don't know. This event is the first and only time that I've been to Norway. There are a lot of places that I have been purely for a Quidditch tournament, and so I've not actually seen that much of the city itself. To be fair, I think it was the Saturday night or the Sunday night, the social we had was in this like underground nightclub that is just built into this cavern. It was really cool. Boom. This one is my volunteer shirt from the IQA World Cup, which was in Frankfurt 2016. Wow. So I'd been living in the UK for about a year at this point. And again, this is the first and only time I've ever been to Frankfurt. Luckily, I got there on like I think I got there on the Thursday. And I had some time to faff around and see a bit of the city. And then again on the Monday, my flight didn't leave until like 6 p.m. and we had to check out of the hotel at 10 a.m. So me and a bunch of the other UK fans and players just kind of hung around in Frankfurt Old Town. Slovenia, without realizing, had the same coloured shirts as all the volunteers, and so quite often I would be looking around for a volunteer to do a job, and I would see a green shirt and I would go to grab them and realise, no, that does not have volunteer written on the back. That has a player name written on the back. That is not a volunteer, that is a player. So, whoopsies. Also, on the Thursday or the Friday when I was hanging around, I was just looking at like a map of Frankfurt Old Town, deciding like where I wanted to go, what I wanted to see, the things that interested me, and this woman came up to me and asked me in German, "Do you need any help? Are you lost?" And I replied in German. My German is not quite fluent, but very conversational. My expressive is better than my receptive, so I can speak in German better than I can listen in German. I was like, no, I'm just kind of looking at what's around, I'm just kind of hanging out. But the word I used was to convey the meaning of I'm just bumming around, which, like, in New Zealand we have that concept, you know, you're just bumming around, meaning I don't have any particular goal, I don't have anywhere to be, I'm just kind of hanging, just vibing, just existing, I'm just hanging out, I'm just bumming around. Now there are two very similar words in German. One of them is bumsen, one of them is bummeln. They have very different meanings. One of them means to bum around, to hang out. The other means to have sex in the bum. And I will give you 3 guesses as to which one I said to this very kind old woman who was just trying to help. And I did not realise until I saw the look on her face, and I was like, no, wait, sorry, excuse me. The other one. Whoopsie doozles. Oh gosh and golly. German is a heck of a language. Right, now we get to the summer in the city shirts. Again, Oh, 2019, so this is the most recent one pre-lockdown. Sweet summer child. This was right before the rebrand. Yeah, or right as we were announcing the rebrand, I think. Again, how did I get a pen stain on it? I could not tell you, but I have it. So, for those of you who don't know, Summer in the City, now called Social in the City, is a online media event similar to VidCon. It basically just started as a bunch of people hanging out in the park, and then the following year, I think, it was at a pub, and then for a couple of years it was at Ali Pali, and now it is held at the Excel Centre in London. Ali Pali, by the way, is Alexandra Palace. Sorry, I realised. If you don't know what Sitsi is, you definitely won't know what Ali Pali is. Especially to my overseas, non-UK based audience. Yes, so this is the volunteer shirt from that. It is lovely and soft, very comfortable to wear, but I just don't wear it. I don't wear a lot of green, like this particular color green. It's stained, so I don't like wearing stained things, but I just didn't want to get rid of it because of the memories. Hashtag memes, you know? My summer in the city friends, my social in the city friends, are the people who, like, some of the closest friends I have, but also I only see them like twice a year at events. This one, 2018, was the year that we had the general volunteer crew were in blue with yellow writing, and the team leaders were in yellow with blue writing. Oh my gosh, I did not love it. It was not the vibe. It was not talk and mint. But, you know, as you'll see, there are definitely worse colours. The next one coming up in a moment. Again, lovely soft shirt, just not my vibe. I don't wear a lot of yellow. Boop. Now this. This is a hell of a vibe. 2017. I think this was... what year is this one? 2016, 17. Okay. 2016 was my first year as a volunteer. 2017 was my second year as a volunteer, and my last year as like a general volunteer. This is the curse of living near a hospital. I've just had like 8 sirens. I've had to stop so many times, all for this one segment. But I think they're finally done. So, I then stepped up to team leader in 2018, and I am now area manager of meet and greets, and at Talkfest I do a mixture of running the green room and hosting panels. So 2017, I hate this. Orange is not my colour. I really did not like wearing this shirt, but when you have a volunteer crew, you really need them to be visible and stand out from the crowd. So bright colours like these are just bound to happen. This year at Talkfest, the volunteer t-shirts were a pale pink, and it was impossible to spot the volunteers from on stage. Sometimes I would have a volunteer whose job it was to go through the audience and like hold microphones out for audience questions. Almost every time I could not find them. Like I would be asking the questions to the panel, and then I would look out into the audience to see them and like make eye contact to see how long we had left on the panel. I could never find them. because it was such a pale colour. It just did not stand out from the crowd, especially as most of our audience was 8 to 12-year-old girls. And like that pale pastel is quite in at the moment, so a lot of people were wearing pale pastels and pinks, and it was just very tricky to spot that pink volunteer shirt. But yes, I almost never wear this shirt because it is orange. I don't like it. It's always a joke every year of like how horrific are the shirt colours gonna be this time. So like in the grand scheme of things, the yellow is actually quite pleasant, but you know, this was my first ever Summer in the City volunteer t-shirt. As you can see, I have worn this quite a bit. I used to wear this quite a lot in the forest school because I wanted to wear shirts that it didn't matter if they got dirty, and this one stands up quite well to mud and stuff, which you can see from how much the lettering is now flaking off. But I just don't wear it anymore. I really don't need to. So, yeah, on the pile she goes. I just have so many shirts, and every event that I volunteer at, I get more shirts. I really don't need another one. Put that over there. Okay, this is the last one. This is the volunteer shirt from the first ever VidCon Europe. It was held in Amsterdam at the Rai Center. These shirts, so at VidCon all attendees get a free t-shirt, and the attendee t-shirts were meant to be black with purple writing, and the volunteer shirts were meant to be purple with black writing, but somehow the printers got confused and they printed both shirts black with purple writing, and the only difference between the attendee shirt and the volunteer shirt was that the volunteers had this on the back. That was literally the only difference. So that made it very difficult to spot the volunteers. And at one point, so I was helping run meet and greets, and at one point I'd gone for a lunch break or I'd gone to the toilet and I was coming back in, and the security guard wouldn't let me in because he saw my shirt and he thought I was just an attendee and I didn't have any balloted wristbands to say that I had any meet and greets. So he was like, no, you can't come in, you don't have a ticket to be in this part of the venue, you need to leave. I was like, I'm a volunteer, I am running this part of the event, you need to let me in, I'm a volunteer. And he absolutely refused, and one of the VidCon staff had to come along, like one of the people who runs it every year had to come along and be like, they have the word volunteer written on their back. I had a wristband on that also said volunteer. And this guy had to like walk me past security before the security guard would finally be like, okay, yes, you can come in. I was like, I've been here all day. You've seen me here. You watched me walk out. And he just would not let me in. I did not understand why. But there we go. I'm going to take a brief moment and get a drink because all of the dust from that is now in my sinuses. And my throat is very dry, so I will be back in just a moment. Bear with. Oh, gosh. Okay. Do you know the other day I cut my finger trying to open a can? I think I like caught it on the corner. Something like that. Alright. Oh, that's better. coaster. I need a coaster and I don't have one. Here we go. Okay, so I have made t-shirt yarn before, and if I remember correctly, you basically like cut ribbons, but don't cut all the way through, and then at the end you cut like every second thing, you know, if that makes sense. So I might change the setup here so I can get you nice and close and you can really hear the chopping. Yeah? Yeah, okay, we'll be back in a moment. All right, here we go. So, I think normally you cut from, oh, where's the edge? Oh gosh. They say cut from like here across, but that then leaves me with all of this extra fabric up the top. And I'm like, what do I do with that fabric? Okay, third time's the charm. I literally had to stop again because I'd run out of space. Turns out I had deleted those larger files, but I never actually cleared them from the trash. I hadn't cleared out my trash in a while, so I had about 30 gig just sitting in the trash waiting to be deleted. Okay, so we go to about there, and we leave about this much. Probably could do a little bit more than that, actually. Yeah, that seemed a bit better, sorry. Yeah, you leave about that much, and then at the end you'll kind of come through and just snip some bits, but not all of them. That's the important part, is that you don't cut all the way through on the wrong ones. Okay. And you don't need to worry too much about like how straight the lines are or how thick they are, because at the end you're going to go through and like basically stretch the yarn. But you don't want it too thin because you don't want it to tear. I find like the length of the hem is usually a good amount to go with. The neighbours are getting very excitable as the night wears on. Yeah. Looking good. Because of the way my building is laid out, noise travels up to our window quite a lot. So we can hear like what a lot of the neighbours are doing on all the different sides. The same with smells. If the neighbours in the floors below us are smoking like beneath our window, even though we're on the top floor, the wind just kind of gets carried up to us. But luckily our neighbours below are quite considerate, and they will go away from the window, which is very nice of them. I think technically the building regulations say you're not supposed to smoke in the little private gardens, the little balconies. But obviously, you know, we're not going to stop them. It's their private home. But we just kind of have an unspoken rule that, you know, if you're going to have a smoke, you go to the opposite end of the shared patio to do so. I can never quite think of the correct word to describe our shared outside area, because patio isn't quite right and balcony also isn't correct. the like building maintenance people refer to it as the communal garden, but it's entirely paved. Like, there is nothing garden about our communal garden. Yeah. And when I say deck, people also don't seem to get the right idea either. Yeah, it's strange. It's also frustrating to me that we have this great, like, fully fenced in outdoor area, but we are not allowed pets. Like, it would be perfect for people with dogs, because there's a fully fenced in area, so you could just let them, like, wander around. And know that there's absolutely no chance that they're going to get out onto the street or that someone's going to take them, you know? But this is a no pets building, and I think part of that is because this building was part of a, like, help to buy scheme, which means, like, the I don't know if it's the government but basically a third party originally owned half of this property. The premise being getting a mortgage for £100,000 is a lot easier than getting a mortgage for £200,000. And saving up a deposit for £100,000 is also a lot easier. So a lot of help to buy houses are shared ownership, where you buy a certain percent of the house and then you only need a mortgage for that percentage, and the government owns the other percent, and then you have the opportunity to buy a certain percent each year, I think they call it staircasing. So I think the logic of saying no pets allowed means that, like, there's no risk of loss of property value due to pet related damages, you know? Oh, this is getting a bit thin. These are also not fabric scissors, these are literally just scissors that I bought and happened to use on fabric. Okay. We are slowly but surely getting there. I think I might finish this one up and then call it a night, because I need to get some laundry done. And I don't know if I'm going to have time, if I have to cut all of these with you hanging out with me, unfortunately. And our washing machine is quite loud. Oh man. I also I don't like sitting on the floor, because I need to change position every 5 minutes, which is not very conducive to filming ASMR. Would you be interested in, like, an ASMR workout session, where we do some exercises together, but in a more calm aspect? Because I feel like I would not have the motivation to exercise without something being the I guess initiating factor. I now realize why they say only go up to this bit, because yeah. Okay. How did I do this before? I feel like I've used this bit before. So basically my issue now is like all of these bits are still joined. So when I trim like this, it's going to make one continuous thing. But if I do that here, where it's not joined, it will no longer do that. I'm just trying to remember what I've done in the past to combat that. I don't remember. I will figure it out. Okay, I think this one I'm going to cut all the way through at this end. Yeah. And then all the way through here, I guess. Okay. So now we take these bits here. This. And we basically... Oh, where's the end? So you can see. We now basically trim on an angle so that this becomes one continuous thing. So, like... There's a helicopter buzzing by, so if you see a jump cut, you know what's happened. Okay. So we start with like... one. And then... I wonder if I can like slide this on my arm to make it easier to stretch them out. Excuse me. Wiggly, 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 wiggly. Yeah, that's easier. There we go. Okay. And the next one is here. Got a little bit thin on that bit, but that's fine. Basically coming from the top of this row onto the bottom of the next row, which creates a long joined thread. Like so. Just trying to be mindful of where I'm holding my scissors. And what body parts I'm near. I forget what angle my phone is on. So if I'm doing things out of frame, I apologize. Okay. one. This one. Oh no, there it is. I was going to say that's a very thick band because it's this one. Do you see what I mean? You don't want to go too thin because when you stretch this out, this bit's going to become even thinner. So the chunks might look large, but they will get much, much thinner as you go. So don't stress too much. Okay. Right, and now, basically what you do is you kind of like create a little, not too loose, not too tight grip like that, and just pull it through so that it goes from being this thick, flat mess to this thinner, more curved, stretched bit. This is why, again, you don't want to pull it, you don't want to cut it too thin, because when you do this, sometimes the tension of pulling it is enough to split it, which is not ideal. If you have any suggestions of what I could make, feel free to pop them in the comments below. Yeah, see, this is now very, very thin now that I've stretched it, which is not ideal, Neil, but we'll make do. Yeah, let me know what you think I should make with black and green and orange and yellow and brown and white t-shirt yarn. I keep catching just this corner of this nail is not very sharp, but just sharp enough that I keep scratching this knuckle. Poor thing. It's getting very, very warm, very hot. Which is why I keep trying to like shift how I'm holding it. Okay. Oh my god. It doesn't have to get tangled on itself, does it? This bit might be a bit thick actually in hindsight because it is hemmed. There's several layers there, so like it's a bit thick and it won't stretch quite as easily. This is what it looks like after stretching. And now this bit, what I might do with this bit is I think I'm going to cut the collar out first of all. Like so. Oh yeah, this is not a comfortable position for me to be sitting in. I need to finish this one and then wrap it up, I believe. What I might do is have the end of this be just you sitting with me on the couch, and I can keep working that way. We'll have the washing machine on in the background and the telly going, and you can just join me hanging out on the sofa. Does that sound good? Okay, nearly all the way around. Right, okay. I'm gonna quickly stretch out my shoulder and my lower back. So, with this one, what I'm thinking is I can go like back and forth. So basically, where it comes in here, if I cut now basically down and back up and make it that way, the way we used to do, like, did you ever do competitions to see who could make the longest, like, the longest bit out of a piece of paper? We basically cut down, 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 down. Oh, I need fabric weights. The problem with a stretch fabric like this is it like bundles, if that's the right word. Yeah, now this is massive. Okay. So you basically come down to the end like this, and then you cut back this way. Like... thickness is very different in some parts of these, but that's fine. Like that, to there, and then you turn around and come back this way. This would be great if I had a pair of left-handed and right-handed scissors to even things out a bit. But I do not. And so I keep getting way too thin when I'm going back this way and way too thick when I'm coming back the other way. See what I mean? Frustrating. Fun fact, I gave myself a neck injury. I gave myself a neck injury during lockdown doing a puzzle because I was on my hands and knees for so long. I hurt the back of my neck by holding up, the effort of holding up the weight of my head. Which is kind of what's happening right now. My back and shoulders are quite unhappy with me. Oh dear. I nearly cut all the way through them without thinking about it. That would have been silly. This one I am going to cut all the way through when I get to the neck. Like so. don't quite remember what I did next. Did I go around? So I'm now here. Did I go like around the neck piece? Maybe I did. Maybe I just had some short pieces next. Let's turn you slightly. Apologies for the wobbles. So now we're kind of going like to there, and then this bit comes down. Hello. That. I might cut this side of that. Yeah. Go back up on that side. And down. Oh, it's getting stuck. Come on now. Be a team player, won't you? Okay. And then we can probably start going all the way across with this next one. And turn that into one big long bit. Yeah. Like this. Kind of debating what to do with this bit. I might just chop it. Cut that bit off. Okay. Go back this way. It's this when it like bundles and then you do the weird like in it. And you get moments like that. But like, if we were making a pattern out of this, that might matter. But because we're just going to stretch it out and knit it, it really doesn't matter if there's those little bumps and stuff. It's not too big of a deal. And turn it around. Oh, oi, 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 oi. This is a good craft to do if you have like a shirt that has a hole in it and you don't want to throw out the rest of the usable fabric, but you don't like, maybe you're not good at sewing, or you know, you just have all these old shirts that you don't use anymore. good way to use the fabric without needing any sewing skills. Knitting is quite forgiving because if you screw it up, you can just undo the whole thing, and there's no like, you don't need a quick unpick. You don't need to undo stitches. You don't need to worry about like ruining the fabric by poking holes in it and then realizing you've sewn it in the wrong place or anything like that. Knitting is quite forgiving with that. Okay, we are nearly done. Oh gosh, sorry about that. Oh god, now I remember back when I first started my channel and this was all I had to film with, was my phone as both my camera and my mic, and this very bendy phone holder as my tripod. And every time I tried to get close to the microphone to do like in-ear type sounds or to do a binaural moment, I would inevitably bump the phone holder and just ruin the take. It's fine though, it's fine. We're past those days now. Okay, what am I doing with this bit? This bit. I'll come up here maybe? Oh. That. Then we have this weird bit up here. Do you know what? We can just trim that off. That's fine. There we go. Come. Like that. There we go. And then we can start stretching out all of this bit. Okay. Oh, nearly pulled that bit through. Whoopsies. You could tidy bits like this up if they will annoy you. You could just like round the corners. Like that. Like this bit here. Just take our scissors. Just round it out, you know? Same with this bit here. Might just round that out. Okay. I think bits with the screen printed stuff on it isn't going to stretch as well. Oh, golly. But that's okay. Okay. Right, now I'm going to try and ball this up. To like bring you up just a bit more so you're more like this. This didn't quite work as well as the t-shirt I've done in the past, but those were a thinner cotton and they didn't have any of the screen printing on them. So I do think that is kind of part of what has made this a little bit more chaotic, to be kind. But that's okay. It is all part of the experience. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to watch tonight while I do the rest of the shirts. I'm not sure. What have I been watching recently? So I watched Bridgerton. I finished season 2. I watched... there was a movie I watched the other day on Netflix that I really enjoyed and I've forgotten it. In cinema, I recently watched The Worst Person in the World, which is a Norwegian film that explores, like, who are we when we're with different people, and what happens when we've been in a relationship for a while and we get to that kind of more stagnant, comfortable part of it. You know, and it does some really cool... It plays with time. There are 3 moments in the film where the main character, she kind of pauses her life with her boyfriend overnight to spend time with this other person. And the pause gets a little more, like, literal each time. Like the first time, well, I don't want to give spoilers, you know, but it's a good film. I enjoyed it. I think you should watch it. Another siren went by. Apologies. Again, this is what put me off filming for a while. Before I got my current job and had access to a mostly soundproofed recording space. I would try to film and I would wait until 3 or 4 in the morning sometimes to try and film at the quietest time, and still there would be tubes rumbling by and there would be sirens, and it was very frustrating to not be able to make what I wanted, and it kind of put me off filming for a while. But I've been enjoying making stuff again. I need to do another big filming day where I just go in and film like 5 videos in one day and build up my bank again, because I have entirely run out of the videos that I had sitting in the bank. I think I've talked about it. There was a day when I had planned to film like 5 or 6 videos, and I got into the office and the cleaners were there, and the cleaners were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you wanted to film something? Because actually we're here and we want to vacuum every single seat and table in the room." I was like, cool, no, that's fine. I didn't have anything to do today. Okay. Oh, I'm just going to shuffle backwards. There is the pile of t-shirts over there. I'm now holding you in my hand. I would turn the camera around, but then I wouldn't be able to see myself. So instead you get this view. This is going to be the view that takes us out of the video, I think. Thank you for watching. It's been lovely to have you here. I hope you enjoyed this more experimental style video. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if there were any moments that worked particularly well for you. Oh, this is what I mean by the bouncy thing. That, like, if you so much as, like, touch it or breathe on it, it will shift and bump around. Yes, let me know what parts you enjoyed, what parts worked well, what parts maybe didn't work quite so well, and I will hopefully make more of these in the future. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Ka kite ano, ka kite ano, inohora.